We are tilted today. I'm fine with this. Are you okay with being tilted?
It makes me look a little taller than you.
You know what? We're good with that. We're good with that. Let me just slide this in just a little bit more and we'll get going. All right. Let's see what we got going on today. Well, good morning, everybody. This is just all over the place right now. Let's rotate that. There we go. All right. And here we go. Well, good morning, everybody. I know it's certainly an early morning for this guy. Up since I actually fell asleep at 3:30 this morning.
Yeah.
Is that correct? So we're recording live stream, whatever you want to call it, at Roast and Brew in the Heights. Again, this is a pretty good spot to do it at, and great coffees. We're actually enjoying a pumpkin spice latte.
Kicking the fall off.
Kicking the fall off correctly, and that's kind of what we're doing here. But I guess let's open this up to see if anyone's anyone's chiming in. I got to get some. Derek, why don't you, while people are kind of waking up and clearing the whole sleep from their eyes, why don't you kind of give us a little update, a hello, a little background, kind of who you are real quick, and then we'll open it up to people saying hello and kind of where they're tuning in from, and we'll just go from there, man.
Sure.
Does that work?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
So I got word that you butchered my last name.
I do. Dude, first off, okay, let's talk about this.
Let's talk about that.
Where is your last name from?
Last name's Italian.
Italian?
Yep.
Okay.
It's Italian. So it's pronounced Depasquale.
Depasquale.
Depasquale. I say a Depasquale.
Okay.
Yeah, a little different E. Depasquale. Depasquale.
Do you change it up whenever you do this?
It depends. Yeah.
Oh, we got the pumpkin spice lattes. Thank you so much. We got another one. This is our second one.
Yeah, cheers on that.
Cheers, buddy. So it's Italian.
It's Italian.
Okay. Yep. So now I know. Depasquale.
Depasquale.
Okay. What part of Italy?
Southern, middle, northern area.
Okay, southern, middle, northern. It's kind of tall, kind of short. Okay, yeah. So we got Matthew Hill chiming in saying, pumpkin beer? Well. Looks like you found the Easter egg, Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Busted.
Send it to him.
Yeah, so you just won an Oktoberfest, a spot in Oktoberfest. So where's everyone else tuning in from this morning? All right, we got John Renfro with Engage saying, good morning, gentlemen. An actual true first day of fall. It is a true first day of fall. And I'm digging this weather. Yesterday was brutally hot.
It was tough.
I coached, I'm an assistant coach for my daughter's soccer team, or football.
If you need some help with that,
you're Italian.
I grew up playing.
I just watched Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell, and the 2 stars with the Italians. So right. I can always lean on you. I can always get you in on the from the booth and all that stuff. But anyway, it was brutal. We got the first day of fall, beautiful outside. We're kicking off fall with some true pumpkin spice lattes. Their second one from Roast and Brew. They've been so kind to let us film here, so I'm digging it. So check them out if you're in the Heights. And we got Tyler Varnados saying, morning, guys, ditch the pumpkin. Ooh, why? Why would we ditch the pumpkin when it's fall time? It's sweater weather.
It's a celebratory drink.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
You have a mint julep. When it's fall, you have a pumpkin spice. All right.
That's right.
If I'm wrong, I don't want to be right. We got Jim tuning in from Saudi Arabia. Jim, what part of Saudi Arabia, man? That's my old. I used to live over in Saudi Arabia in Al Khobar. Is that how I pronounce that?
That's pretty good.
I know I always pronounce stuff like how it should be, like a local.
That's right.
Well, good morning, Jim. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Isn't that kind of cool about this? These breakfast runs or these podcasts or whatever it is, like the reach to bring everyone in, whether you're in Texas, whether you're in New Mexico or Saudi Arabia or wherever. It kind of brings everyone together, so everyone kind of tune. I think that's kind of a cool aspect of this.
I thought it was really nostalgic. At Kinder Morgan, we every Tuesday we have our rig calls at 8 a.m.
Okay.
So we would have kind of a drilling group breakfast run. We would meet our vendors in the lobby, and we would go, we'd walk somewhere, and we'd all have a nice, casual sit-down breakfast.
Right.
And, we lost that right with the pandemic. So.
Do you miss that?
Yeah, that was you get to meet new guys. Somebody, if you're doing business with a vendor, and they have new people start, they bring them in for breakfast, or they'll bring their buddy who sells this, and you get to meet him. And
it gives you a chance to kind of connect with someone, whether you're talking about work, whether you're talking about personal stuff. So I don't know. A lot of people miss that though.
Yeah, breakfast runs are, I mean,
it's part of our
else am I
industry.
getting a taco on the 7th floor?
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't want to go all the way downstairs to get that taco. So, all right, Alcabar. I dig that. If you're in Alcabar, swing by Al Wazan's. I dig that place. I miss that place. Riley Smith, good morning. All right, let's see where else we going. We got to get kicked.
I know Riley.
You know Riley?
I know Riley.
See, look at that. Good morning, Riley. Hope you're having a pumpkin spice kind of day as well. All right. And so I guess before we get this kicked off, we gotta give a shout out to Royal Completion Tools, who have been so generous in sponsoring this the breakfast runs for the past month and actually moving forward. And if there's any questions about sponsoring the breakfast run, shoot me a DM or get in contact with me. But we got to do a little commercial. I used to read this, but I think over the weekend my daughter and I made a commercial about this. It was kind of Byron Olson's idea over at Maverick, and I kind of dig it. So here's a word from our sponsor.
To all you completion engineers, company men, and consultants out there, are you sick and tired of losing sleep over frac plugs not getting the depth, not holding pressure, or not drilling out properly? Or maybe you aren't getting the best quality and service from the bigs. Well, stop burning the midnight oil and rest at ease while using Royal Frac Plugs, the most reliable and efficient frac plug on the market. Start your successful completions today by getting in touch with Royal Completion Tools. You can contact them via www.royalcompletiontools.com, sales@royalcts.com, or via LinkedIn. Contact them today to check out some of the best frac plugs out there.
That was a lot of fun to make. I made that with my daughter, and I went to full dad director mode, and that's just check out those guys over at Royal Completion Tools. Great group of people over there. Try to hook up with any of the people over there. I mean, honestly, I love how they give me the freedom and the flexibility to do that, and they've been so supportive. And I want to support those people too, that team over there. So check them out, connect with them, and say hello. So let's see what else we got going on. Let's get some more comments, and then let's dive into you, who you are, what makes you tick. Okay. All right. We got Jordan. Good morning, Jordan. Listening while driving back from San Antonio. See how I did that? You always got to do that.
Stay true.
We got Dwayne. Shout out from Manville. Black Gold Rental Tools in the house. I'm working with Black Gold Rental Tools. Also a customer of Connection Crew. Dwayne, thanks for tuning in, man. Check them out too, because so I'm gonna be over the content side of Black Gold Rental Tools. So go check them out, give them a follow and all that stuff. It'll help me out, help them out, and it'll be a fun ride. So let's see. They're gonna let me kind of do our own thing as well. So I'm looking forward to that. We got Eric Coleman too. I remember those breakfast meetings in Kinder in the downtown Houston tunnel is awesome. You remember Eric Coleman?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he says he remembers those Kinder Morgan breakfast runs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember breakfast runs downtown. You'd always have to. The Hyatt Regency would be the place where like all the salespeople would meet. That'd be like the beehive. You know what I mean? We kind of get there early, get the cup of coffee, get the donuts, get the tacos, walk in with your tacos, and kind of have a little chit chat. Where are you going this morning? Where are you going this morning? And then we'd all just branch off, and then come back and recirculate. Like, man, they ain't doing nothing. Man, have you got in front of Derek? Man, that dude's a son of a gun. All right, Austin Lewis, morning y'all, morning Austin. How you doing today, man? David Gibson, how you doing, man? Tuning in, morning, David. I've missed you on LinkedIn. I think you've been around a little bit, but I know you're busy, bud. It's good seeing you here, man. John Daniel, enjoy the show from East Texas. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you in West Texas, John Daniel. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so, Derek, we got your last name down.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Depasquale. All right, so we got that down. So you have a very interesting background. You started off on the operator side, then you went service, and after. So I kind of dig how you kind of have both sides of the table. What's been, I guess, one of the sitting on both sides of the table, one of the biggest differences or enlightening things that you've, noticed or seen? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think it does. It's early, but go with me.
I think it's hard to put yourself in the other side's shoes.
Okay.
That's the
both
biggest,
sides.
Either way, a lot of if you grew up in a service company, you have no idea what it's like to be a drilling engineer. Like
right.
You have 100 people calling you a day, right? Like 100 different services that you're managing, whereas you're a salesman, you have 100 clients. They're calling about one thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the opposite. And it's really hard to, like, I guess it can be difficult to understand that, you're calling on a customer and to realize that he has 100 other people calling him for different
JPs
things, right? Well, one service line probably has 6 people calling him, right? Then he has 100 service lines. So imagine that.
So let me ask you a question. So let's say there's someone new trying to call you right now, trying to reach out to you right now, and obviously it's getting inundated with stuff. You have a rig running right now, which is kind of a beautiful thing to hear in our industry right now. So if someone's trying to call you for like a new product, a new service, or a new salesperson, just getting into the Houston market, look, man, you only have a certain amount of time during the day. You only have a certain number of phone calls you can get back to. Only a certain number of emails you can respond to, right? So how do you, I guess, differentiate, I guess, who or why you'd reach out to someone? Is it kind of like a luck thing? Is it like, oh, I want to talk to this type of stuff? What is it?
We've had 2 major kind of, I wouldn't say breakthroughs, but they were like, vendors that contacted us, one on a cold email. We just happened to be having trouble with its competitor, and we had no idea they existed.
Okay.
So they sent us a cold email literally the day of, and they got the work the next week.
That's just luck.
So we started the process that week, getting them set up as a vendor, and now we're running their equipment on every well.
Right.
So it is luck, but also I had a guy do he sent a bid in for some work. He was close to low bid. I reached out to him and talked to him. Well, he came in and actually improved, he improved the equipment. So he saved us money on the equipment. And he said, "Oh, what you're running is, it's higher rated than what you need.
Okay.
I can give you this that'll cut the price in half and give you exactly what you need to get the job done."
So rather than have like a 15,000 pound pressure rating thing, it's like you really don't need that. You kind of need a 7,000 or 5,000, whatever that is.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and this was never spoken to the guy on the phone, had no idea who he was, just saw the bid come in.
Okay.
And we got a deal going, and
so that sounds like it's kind of like 2 lucky situations, and honestly, that's luck's not a bad thing.
But the same tool that he offered to us, he didn't have to, right? He offered another tool initially.
Okay.
So he solved the problem.
Added value.
He added value.
Okay.
And that's that's what we need, right? We have our issues. We're trying to save money as a operator. So if you can add value somehow, whether it's through problem solving or cost savings, and still get the job done with quality service, and it's important.
Well, of course, adding value and providing a new innovative ways, I guess, tackle a problem or a constant operational issue and all that stuff. But what are I guess kind of getting down to this, and I want to talk about something, I guess, also before we kind of get into Kinder Morgan and kind of what you're seeing on the general oil field side. What is the top? This is a list now, putting you on the spot. This is what we do. Top 3 don'ts for people trying to cold call in this market today on this beautiful fall day with our pumpkin spice lattes. What's the top 3 don'ts?
Top 3 don'ts. I'm gonna have to drink.
Okay, well, one of them could be a blind LinkedIn message where you just email a PDF.
Yeah, I've seen you talk about that in the past.
Always bring it up.
LinkedIn's really not the place for that.
For pitching.
Yeah, no. Now I have found guys on LinkedIn and reached out to them.
Yeah.
And gotten products or services from them.
Through their online presence.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you see, I use LinkedIn.
Yeah.
To market things that I'm looking for.
Right.
And guys will reach out to me. I guess that's one of them. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I guess another thing is, cold calling and not they kind of, I get a cold call, then it'll just be a long chatty pitch where it's not like, hey,
how you doing?
Are you busy?
Yeah.
Can I have a minute every time?
Is now a good time?
It's like, wait, how'd you get my number?
Right. So when they go on that pitch, it's more like, this person's not trying to connect with me. They're just trying to get that transactional conversation.
Yeah, they're checking Salesforce.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good one.
I guess another thing would be, if you meet for lunch, I guess like if it's kind of a first meeting, if you're meeting for lunch,
first date.
A little technical talk, like get to the little but not the hard pitch, like right away. Just
I like this.
I mean, just
no.
Yeah,
what I'm getting from you is I'm digging this. So, and this is something I've been preaching too. It's like a lot of times, and this kind of goes back to relationships in our industry. A lot of times, people, they want that transaction, they want this, they want that sale. I need to do this. I need to get this account. I need to do this account. But a lot of times, you turn the customer off that way, because it's just a pitch, it's just a sale. It's like, look, I don't really give a crap how you doing today. I'd want this. It's not just being. It's not the genuine business relationship that you want.
Yeah, I mean, we have a problem. Like we always have problems, right? So, it's best to understand what the customer's problem is, right?
Yeah.
Before you start pitching.
And that's done by talking.
Yeah, by getting to know what they're doing.
Oh, getting to know someone. Okay.
Oh, you lost sleep last night because of your
whatever
tool failed.
Let's talk about
that.
Okay. I might know someone. If I can't help you, I can help someone. So let's talk about this. Let's kind of get into the general oil field. Let's see what we got. We got a couple people chiming in. Jamie, all the way from Midland. Good morning, Janie. How are you? You got Seth tuning in. Old Jordan Hess, buddy. How you doing? Good morning, amigo. Glad you're tuning in. You're not in a morning meeting like you were in last time. All right. Morning from the Heights. Good morning. From H-Town. Good morning, Timothy. From old Lafayette. There we go. John. So okay, let's get into the general oil field conversation. Then let's talk about the golf tournament that we want to discuss.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to do that first, you want to do that after.
Let's plug it.
Let's plug it right now. We got people listening right now, and he brought up. So he shot me a message the other night, and he's like, "Hey man, do you mind if I bring something up during the breakfast run?" And I was like, "Uh-oh, like what is it, man? If it's political, if it's a hot topic, man, I don't know if I want to hear it. It might be too early for me. It might not be enough pumpkin spice lattes out there for me." But you sent me the Colin Campbell golf tournament.
Super C tournament.
Super C tournament. So why don't you talk about that a little bit? And this is a tournament that I've actually taken part. I think from the first year. I think Melita, Pitts, and Martine, like they help kind of organize and facilitate. So why don't you kind of plug it real quick?
Yeah. So Colin Campbell. Is one of my best friends. We grew up in the Woodlands together. Went to Texas Tech.
You grew up together.
Yeah, we did.
I know that.
Yeah, we graduated high school together.
Okay.
Yeah, and went to Texas Tech, and he started in the oil field working for Cameron. So he's a wellhead guy.
Okay.
And I think he ended his career with GE. He was in-house for ConocoPhillips. So good oil field guy. Knowledgeable as hell. Heart of gold. He's training for an Ironman.
Okay.
And in 2016, he was swimming a half Ironman on Lake Livingston, and he never made it out of the water. So he passed away on September 11th, 2016, and the following year, a group of friends. He had a huge group of friends. I mean, he's very well loved. I mean, it was a tragedy. So we got together and we said, "Hey, let's start a golf tournament." He loved to golf.
Okay.
And he liked his Long Island iced teas.
And what's the shot we do every morning?
It's called a Texas tee off.
Texas tee off. Yep. That's right. We do a remembrance to
that's
Colin.
Right.
Yep.
It's Colin. Yep. So we started this tournament in 2017. It's been going every year. We support a nonprofit organization. We are a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
We support the Texas Fallen Officers.
Keep talking. I'm going to try to find. I'm going to try to find the link and post it to the comments while you keep talking. So keep going.
So we support the Fallen Officers Foundation. We have whole sponsors available. We have players. We need players, and we need whole sponsors.
And when is it?
It is November 12th of this year. So what I just learned recently was it's the morning after F5.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's when you need hair of the dog right there.
That's when the Texas tee-off comes into play.
So yeah, that's when the text. So F5 is. I love F5. That's a great thing. And I
Yeah.
also love the golf tournament.
Yeah.
So that might be something I might be asking forgiveness on my liver, but I think it's gonna be worth it.
You know, you're gonna have to power through it.
I'm fine with that.
I'm gonna need you there.
Okay, I'm trying to find the.
Yeah, type in. Let's see. We probably need to get our Google algorithms.
I'll tell you what, y'all.
Super C tournament.
Super C tournament.
You were close.
You want to keep talking?
Yeah.
Feel the dead air a little bit about
Yeah,
who you played with in the past. Great family too. I mean, his family is oil field as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mike Campbell. So the Campbells have a deep-rooted Texas legacy. Their grandfather was a defense coordinator on the national championship team.
Here it is.
There you go.
Okay, so what I'm doing, everyone, I'm posting this to I'm posting the link for the tournament up on the comments. Hope you check it out. Janie on the ball. Did she already do that?
There we go.
Look at that. Oh, and I'll put it right here too. I dig it. So anyway, so that's kind of that's kind of an important thing to plug. I mean, obviously, it's not just one of those things for the the nonprofit that it supports. What nonprofit?
Fallen officers.
Fallen officers. So it's not just important to the nonprofit. It means something to you. Obviously, it was a close friend growing up. And all that, and it's a great tournament.
I bought my house because he lived right across the street from where I bought my house. You know, it's kind of a nostalgic almost. You know, I love the area obviously too, but yeah.
So I think everyone check it out, support it if you will. I'm planning to be there. I think it's gonna be a good time. It has been a good time previously in the past, a little bit too good of a time sometimes, but it's always a good group, good energy, good group of people out there for a purpose. Remembering a brother.
Yeah, my twin. I have a twin sister.
Okay.
She sets up her chiropractic. She's a chiropractor.
I've seen that right there in that little
so
gazebo
she sets
right
up a
there.
booth and she's cracking backs and necks and stuff.
Cracking backs
get
after
a free adjustment right before tee off.
That always works. It always works. All right, so let's get this kicked off with some oil field kicked off. This is like the 5th kickoff we've done. So give us kind of a little some joy.
Well, you kick off after you score.
I always kick
every
that.
time, right?
Well, you know what? That was a good score then.
Yeah,
that was a good score. Talking about that, bringing up that tournament up. What are you seeing out there right now? I mean, we talked about this a little bit before we kind of tuned in right now. I mean, you're on the drilling completion side right now, and obviously, you have an active rig.
Right.
What kind of challenges that you're seeing today that I guess you didn't see previously? I guess a year and a half ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And then also, I kind of want to talk about. There's a lot of challenges out there. I think a lot of people know the challenges with labor, this and that, but also want to talk about potential opportunities out there. If they're out there. So let's start off with the challenges.
I mean, obviously, OCTG is pinched. They're not. The mills aren't taking orders before.
Right.
They're not taking January orders right now. They're thinking very short term. It's actually one of the wildest markets probably ever taken place.
Do you think that's going to change? I mean, look, I've heard this issue with a lot of people right now. Do you think that's going to change? Where they're actually going to bring in another group that could make them run longer?
I don't know, man. I think it might get worse with the automobile industry. With the chip shortage, the automotive industry didn't. They didn't consume the steel. They're not consuming the steel that they normally would because they can't get these cars off the lot. So they're sitting on inventory. They're not producing more. It may get worse. Who knows?
And in casing and pipe, it's not a huge portion of their main revenue. It's kind of a sliver. So that's a huge side on the oil and gas industry.
We can get the backs. We can get the back seat from them.
Yeah.
From easily.
So pretty much, it's not up to us to apply pressure to them. It's kind of a lot of industries to apply pressure.
I mean, it's gonna. Yeah. If I understood the intricacies, that's what I'd be doing.
So that's one of the challenges that we're seeing right now, and you don't see it getting better.
Talk about personnel, and deeper into personnel, QA/QC, right? So tools and equipment, I think that can become a huge concern when you're trying to, maintain, maybe a shop. That guys are bouncing out for $2 an hour, You know, they're going left and right for $2 an hour.
Are you finding a lot of QA/QC issues currently?
We see them pop up occasionally.
More today than you've seen in the past?
You know, we have some vendors that you know, there's been a cement shortage.
Okay.
And you know, we've had tools that, you know, we have tools that fail, and then, you know, you have to, and I guess our program and our staff, we're not really set up to, like an Exxon or a Chevron, where they can dig into a failure,
Okay.
into like a deep, you know, analytical,
Find like the root cause.
yeah,
and all
like,
that
I mean,
stuff.
you know, they have a full report. You know, we're relying on the vendor to help, you know, tell us why, you know, A, their tool failed, B, you know, what they're going to do about it. We can't, you know, my wells are 9 days, you know, so every 7, 8 days, you know, I'm looking, you know, things are changing. Yeah, we're moving. So you know, to react is tough. You got to be quick. And I mean, for me specifically, you know, we can't have, you know, we can't have consistent problems. We got to make changes quick. You know, you got to make, it's kind of, you can't really be slow to react, because you're gonna, you know, it's gonna happen again before you're ready for it. You know.
So how do you find, do you have the support to react kind of in a split second like that? I mean, where's that come?
I mean, you have to keep a book of, you know, of tools and equipment, or, you know, services, right? You have to, and not say like you have to constantly, you know, like we have to constantly look out, and not that we're trying to replace people, but
right.
You know, if like we've been running this company for, you know, over a year and a half now, and then out of nowhere, you know, they're like, hey, we can't make a job, two or three jobs in a row. Well, they you know, they waited 8 hours till the job starts to make that, you know, to tell us. So we had to go to our, you know, backup vendor, which MSA might be, you know, expired, or, you know, there's something.
And plus, there's that time crunch for them too. So
exactly.
you're kind of putting them on the
Can you make this job? So then you get the backup charge, right? Because you might not have an updated price sheet from them.
Okay.
And, you know, everyone's, you know, vendors are, you know, their costs are going up, so their services are going up.
Right.
You know, oil's going up. We're making money. They're, you know, they want to make money. You know, we pinched the hell out of them for, you know, a year. And the whole, you know, all the operators did. You know, they pinched their vendors hard. So, you know, they're trying to claw back and make, you know, trying to make ground and get back to a good steady cash flow. But yeah, I think that's difficult, is keeping.
I'm glad you brought that up, because, you know, a lot of times, obviously, you know, my pass is on the service side. A lot of times, you know, you hear operators squeeze vendors. You know what I mean? Oh, you got to, you know, shave 20% off. You got to shave this off. And a lot of times, you know, I guess when, you know, activity comes back and commodity prices come back and all that stuff, it's almost impossible to get kind of that back. You know what I mean? So I love how you just brought that up, because I think that's an important part of our industry. It's not just, you know, low cost, and keeping costs low when things are kind of, you know, we're on the same boat. Yeah, we're in the same boat when, you know, when it hits the fan.
It's a tough pill to swallow for operators. You know, you get kind of used to it.
You get kind of used to the low price.
Like, hey, like as a project manager, I'm like, look, my well costs this, and, you know, this is how much I reduced it during this, you know, pandemic, right? And, you know, these costs they're coming back up. So it's hard for me to go back to my, you know, to my management and say, yeah, our wells are going to be more expensive. Well, why is that? Well,
because services
are going back up.
It's not May 2020 right now.
Oil's not -30.
Right.
Like, you know, these guys, you pinch them out for so long, they're going to go bankrupt. They're going to start giving you worse service. They're going to cut
worse personnel.
They're going to cut their costs, right, by cutting steps, cutting QA/QC, like it talked about.
So that whole process, that whole supply chain process is understood, kind of. But it seems like you're kind of, whether you sat both sides of the desk or not, or maybe you just have this holistic 30,000-foot approach to it. You're understanding, like, look, prices are going up. This is happening. I need to communicate this to my management so they're not sticker shocked when I'm submitting an AFE.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I want what's best for Kinder Morgan, right? And if that means, you know, giving back money to these, you know, to the service providers, like, hey, they want a price increase. Well, I want good service.
Yeah.
You know, downtime is it costs me way more money than, you know, adding $500, you know,
for whatever,
for like some piece, you know, some tool, right? Or $1,000, whatever. So, we have a liner hanger that doesn't set or doesn't test. I mean, that's $250,000 replacing that versus if I'd have just given them, another couple $1,000s on their tool, and they spent that extra time and money, making sure it tests. No, I'm not having liner hanger issues.
I was going to say, your
not
inbox is about to get
anybody.
blown up right now.
Very happy with my provider right now. Actually, Riley. Well, shout out to Riley. He's the guy that cold called me.
Riley?
Yeah, Riley.
Riley Norris?
Yeah. No, Riley Smith.
Oh, really? He's the one that cold called? No.
From Dallas.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I dig that. Circles.
Yeah.
So going back to that, I mean, I still think I think it's important for, when operators do ask their vendors to reduce costs and reduce their price, whatever that is.
Right.
I do think it's important to have those real-time conversations because our market changes every single day. Yesterday, Shell was in the Permian. Now it's not. You know what I mean? So our market changes every single day. And I think to have the communication, just like that 8-hour lead time for that one vendor you're talking about, like it's the communication. It's hey, look, we're facing this on our end, so we are going to have to increase prices.
Right.
Stuff. It's not 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And those are conversations I think need to happen.
Yeah. So I think a good way to approach that from a sales, which is what how I approach it, is you're asking for a price increase. Well, I want something in return. What value add are you going to give us, right? Like the drilling rig wants another $1,000 a day. Hey, I want more heavyweight, right? I want kind of take and give a little bit, because it's tough. It's
But I mean, if you're asking for something, there needs to be a little
Yeah.
You can't just give a blanket request.
I mean, I guess the best thing is hopefully you have that relationship and you have that partnership, this is how I like to develop partnershives. And I've had one.
We just talked about that on the Mondays run. Business partnership versus vendor operator relationship.
Exactly. I mean, I have a directional company that we feel like we've had a partnership with. And
That's good.
We've kind of grown our program with them, on both fields that we have, and they've helped us make a lot of strides, and I think we've helped them make a lot of strides as a service company because we
push back on improvement.
Well, yeah, we show them their shortcomings, and they develop and improve on that, and they're growing.
It's a win-win
like crazy.
for all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, we got a question here from Robert Brown. This is a great question.
Oh, no.
What keeps Derek up at night besides rig calls? What you got?
Last night it was a washed out conductor pipe. Keeps me up at night.
Is that? Yeah. Okay. How about That's a great point. I guess on the bigger grand scheme of things, what's keeping you having a little anxiety about our industry at night?
It used to be. I graduating in 2012. I've seen all the big downs. Right. I've seen the heavy hitters that have come. In the last 8 years now, 9 years.
Yeah.
And I've been a part of a lot of those. I was unemployed for quite a while in 2016.
Okay.
When I started consulting after I left Oasis, and I guess the uncertainty of that, it still kind of stings. It's still
kind of here too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if you think you're in a great role, great job, and all that. It's one of those things. The industry now. Tomorrow you may be acquired and synergies may happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys my age I would say they're probably permanently scarred. Like you graduate in 2010, 11, 12, 13, peak oil, right?
Yeah.
Peak pricing.
Yeah, that's when the Haynesville.
And everything.
Yeah.
You didn't survive that first one, whether it be circumstance or, whatever.
Right.
It's going to stick with you for a long time, right? But with Kinder Morgan, I feel like it's kind of a home to me now. I've been with them for 3 years, and I love working there.
Y'all back at the office?
We're not.
Okay.
They keep pushing us out.
Okay.
Big company, a lot of people, big building.
Are you digging that?
It's definitely the biggest company I've worked for in an office.
Are you digging the work from home aspect?
Oh, work from home?
Do you really?
I'm more worried about going to the office and my dog having anxiety. Dude, I think we're forgetting about our dogs and pets. We're forgetting about their mental health.
Well, I think Snowy and Buddy, my 2 cats, I'm not really concerned about their mental health. They're cats. You know what I mean? If I drop dead tomorrow, they'll probably eat me.
I mean,
they don't care.
What if you have a parrot that sits?
Different story.
Yeah.
I gotta deal with that parrot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think a huge booming catalyst, big industry coming is like the stay home.
You're seeing a lot of companies switch to that.
Yeah. I mean,
in some companies it makes sense.
We're going back to a hybrid schedule.
Okay.
So we'll be right now. Our plan is Monday through Wednesday in the office, and then Thursday, Friday work from home.
I dig that.
I think is a great balance.
Yeah.
Because everyone says, well, we've been running our industry for a year and a half now from home. Why can't we keep doing it? Well, what's the new guy? How's the new guy going to get any culture, or like how's he going to understand the company?
That's a great point.
Yeah, because we're thinking about ourselves, not thinking about the new guy. He comes in, he works from home, he just knows, a bunch of faces. But he's never shaken anybody's hand.
He's not building relations. He's not finding out what they're doing that weekend, or he's not finding out what they're doing.
He's not getting breakfast.
You know what's interesting? I was talking to Griffin Selby with Aventive on one breakfast run, and he's still in that rotation, the 2-year, where they go to reservoirs, and production, and all that stuff. Great guy and all that stuff. And what I dug about that, Tyler Schultz is the one. He's like, hey man, why don't you focus on some of the younger engineers and all that stuff? And I thought that was a great recommendation, because far too often we get stuck with kind of our, our circle, like, oh, you, and all that stuff. But you're right. It's the upcoming generation. If we love our industry and the relationships and the friendships and the bonds that are made in our industry, I think you're right. It's important to be cognizant of what about those new people. How do we? I mean,
not even new to industry, just new to your company.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. I mean, it's whether it's new to the industry or new to the company. It's like if it's a relationship based thing. If you're just having those business conversations, efficiency conversations, you're really not going to be jiving on all cylinders.
Yeah, it's the youth, the guys, graduating from college now, they're, we think have a cell phone problem. They've had a cell phone since 6th grade,
right?
5th grade, maybe earlier. I mean, if their parents were nice or cool, they probably, they've had one, since they were 7 or 8.
They were doing that T9, T9 texting.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
They talk about so you take them graduating from college, they've already been taking online classes for a year and a half now, so they're going to graduate to another online workplace. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a balance.
So what can we do as an industry to I guess not allow that remote non-human interaction environment? What can we do as an industry to I guess? And look, I'm not asking for like the definite answer, but I'm just saying what are some suggestions that we can do as an industry?
I mean, that varies company to company. Your small companies, I think they can get away with it. They're your 60 or 50 person less type. EMPs, they're typically hiring 1 or 2 new guys. Like college grads, interns, stuff like that. And then I guess that would be kind of an easier thing for them to step into. They probably have remote offices, or they're having their meetings and stuff. Bring them around. But like your big companies, I think they're going to have to kind of stick to their guns, and they're going to have like this hybrid schedule. They're going to have to. They rely on culture a lot, right?
Yeah.
Everybody relies on their culture. What are your what are your goals? What are your?
But I would assume for a bigger company, I guess you do need to have people kind of in the same room and talk and all that stuff. If not, it's just a group of individuals all out there with the same title on their paycheck,
right?
Pretty much, whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's, we have a lot of intergroup discussions, and they get meetings aren't that good online. I don't care what people say.
No, meetings are brutal online.
They're I mean, and I feel like we're having more meetings.
Zoom, and the thing about Zoom, everyone always has to chime in and say that last thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like they last like 40% longer online versus real life. You know what I mean?
My wife was telling me something last night that something she read online, but it said like a Zoom meeting. lasts like an hour-long Zoom meeting lasts like 3 hours from your patients or like your psyche.
Oh, really?
It was like the
mental health?
equivalent of 3 hours or something along those lines.
That's something to take an asset right there. If you move forward with these Zoom meetings, make it purposeful.
Another thing that we're finding is I don't know. My wife works for the MD Anderson.
Okay.
Right? So they cut their meetings off at 10 to the hour. So they have that 10-minute transition time. We're moving meeting to meeting, and I'm not complaining.
We're not complaining.
Not complaining.
We're not complaining, Mr. and Mrs. Morgan.
Come on, Rich.
Come on, Rich.
That's tough, right? Because I mean, you're just sitting at your computer.
Because you need a process.
Boom. Yeah, you're going to the next one. Now you're like trying to get organized, and everyone's on mute. So you're like, you can't gauge reactions.
Yeah.
There's that nonverbal, right? Communication is 90% nonverbal. So it's, that's a new challenge. And I don't know, man.
I dig it, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's take some. What else? You got anything else to bring up before we kind of open up to the audience? Because we got some good. I'm seeing some good banter here, some good comments right now.
Dude, let's
you ready to do this?
Yeah.
All right, we're seeing pretty much some novels being written right now on the comments, and I'm digging this. How do you feel about winning that poll I put out there on which breakfast run you're excited for?
Oh my gosh.
You crushed it. You got a lot of friends, buddy. All right, so let's bring it up here. Let's bring it up here. Everyone, here is the. Janie, thanks so much for finding that out for us. Here's the link for the Super C golf tournament. Check it out, and the date of that is, what is the date?
November 12th.
November 12th. I dig it. All right. We already asked this. Monica just dropped off. Evelyn, excited to be here. Well, thanks for tuning in. Monica is my beautiful wife, who's been just an awesome teammate and just supportive and really just kind of motivating me. So I wanted to thank her, and I think honestly give a shout out to all those spouses out there.
Shout out to mine. I just got married in December.
You got married really?
Yep.
Okay, so shout out to all those spouses out there.
Love you, Martha. She's tuned in, I'm pretty sure.
Love you, Monica. You're tuned in. I feel like maybe you might not be anymore, but if you are, I'll show this on the replay to get some brownie points. All right, John Simmons goes, do you manage your vendor relationships and bid solicitations with emails and spreadsheets /PDFs or PDFs? Do you see value in bid leveling your vendors /partners more frequently to ensure you're getting the most value from them?
So, oh man, that's a tough one.
John with $1 million question on the first day of fall.
So, Kinder Morgan we have a new initiative. Our drilling group, we were procurement for the longest time.
Okay.
And we just kind of moved our procurement to a corporate function, and now they kind of act as a liaison for all the business units.
Okay.
So we kind of have our representatives that help us. They're trying to streamline it. It's been a challenging process,
right,
to say the least.
Well, any change in processes is a challenge.
Right. Procurement, that's a challenge. Working with procurement is a challenge.
Okay.
But yeah, so we kind of, the engineers, we look for who we want to bid. We look for, we take our Rolodex and we give it to procurement. They send out the bids. They formulate everything. They put together. They do their spreadsheet with all the services, all the materials, everything.
So you have a certain level of input,
right?
On that.
They basically organize it and send it back to us.
Okay.
We really dive into it, right?
Okay.
Because they're not that familiar with our project or what service. I've got a really good story I'll tell you about procurement. Let's talk about it.
Wait, is it story time right now?
Yeah, it's story time.
Everyone grab your pumpkin spice latte. It's story time about procurement with Derek Depasquale.
I won't say any names.
No names.
Okay.
We don't want names.
So we were bidding out our logs, our logging company.
Okay.
All right. So we're trying to get wireline logs.
All right.
And we had someone from procurement message one of our geologists, and they asked, the question was, do these logging companies do more than cut wood?
Really?
Really. So,
do they?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I hope.
I don't know. The ones that we're going after might.
That reminds me when I was at a previous company, I was talking to someone in one of those supportive functions. I'm like, all right, so look, we need to replace this driller. So a driller, a jackup and a drill ship's pretty much the same thing, right? They can do. I'm like, no, like that's why like communication, describing kind of what companies do, what services do. I don't care if you've been in the industry for 10, 15 years. There's always something to learn, and whether it's a lumber wireline company, a lumber wireline combo company, or something like.
If they were in lumber, they'd probably be killing.
They'd be crushing.
I mean,
they would be. There's probably better business right now in the oil field, but that's a great.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
That is good.
But yeah, we're working with procurement now, like more closely, and it's a delicate balance.
John, I hope that answered your question. Great question, Robert Brown. Spot on. The roller coaster ride can be tough. You gotta love the oil patch. That's right. Look, it's fun because it's the people you're with. In my opinion.
Right.
That's my thing. Robert's suggestion: send the newbies to the rig, into the completion site, into the workover intervention jobs. Let them get their hands dirty. Experience is a great teacher. I could not agree with that
more.
That's
how I started.
I didn't start that way, but I got into it that way.
Yep.
After 4 years.
I got shipped to North Dakota 2 weeks out of school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I started off at HR as an HR temp, and then I got hired on an HSE, and I wanted to go to marketing. So in order to market offshore rigs, you got to know the rig. So I started working offshore.
Nice.
So yeah.
There's no better way to learn.
It took me a little bit. I was a newbie, but I had to get comfortable with it. I dipped my toe in the water for about 3-4 years. All right, John says, I think virtual meetings tend to temper creativity. I completely agree. With that. Ty Bell says, right on. Reintroducing the people side components around partnerships and winning teams seems more relevant now than ever. I love this. I mean, I dig the people side of our industry, and I think it's an easy thing not to stray away from and not understand its importance. What examples from your playbook around contagious energies, I dig that, have you been a part of throughout these market cycles? Ones that collaborate individuals to dial in, keep focused, and see bigger picture of near and long-term goals. Ooh, I'm not even gonna go. I'm just gonna have you sit with that, and you answer that. That's a great question. Oof. Now you can come back to it, or Ty, he can message you after this because that's some serious thought right there.
So I guess that people say, how do you stay motivated?
Yeah.
Right. Like but seeing the down cycles. Well, I mean, you should. I guess if you have a vision or a drive where you want to see yourself, it's easy to say that. It's tough to stay up all the time. Be happy, perky, go lucky. But yeah. I'll tell you what, man, I like to surround myself with high level, high energy people.
Okay.
Positivity.
It's easy to be negative, man.
Dude,
it's easier to talk about being negative. It's easier to fall into those traps where everything's negative.
We're lucky, man. We're lucky to be in the industry. We're lucky to have. If you're not in it, you're trying to get back in. You're lucky to be a part of it. And you're lucky to be in America, in the United States.
That's right.
America,
America.
I mean, we're lucky.
Yeah.
We're lucky people, man. Like our problems, we're not worried about clean water.
We're not worried about going to the grocery store. Well, I mean, look, some people are, but we
have air conditioning.
Yeah, we're not worried about going to H-E-B and picking up this week's food.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta stay positive. It's tough.
Staying positive to me, I mean, it's one of those things, vibe attracts your tribe or whatever those soul cycle, folks do. But it's true though. It's an effort to not let yourself get sucked into that negative side of whether it's your daily tasks or anything like that. It's really one of those things where it's like it takes practice to pull yourself out of those negative bitching and complaining modes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I had one of my old mentors, Andrew Soto. So he's a drilling manager, at Oasis.
Yeah.
So he's my guy.
Okay.
I call him when I have problems.
Okay.
We work together at Oasis. Yeah, he's a good mentor of mine. He told me the other day, I was complaining about something. He said,
shocker,
it's easy to complain when times are good.
I like that.
When oil's $40 a barrel and you're employed, you're not going, oh man, this paperwork is it's the worst.
Oh,
You know, I can't believe I have to file this report. Like, no, you're like, dude, I get to file this report today.
Yeah, I
So
get to come to the office.
it's easy to complain when times are good. You get to find things to complain about.
How do you personally readjust yourself whenever you start having one of those funk days where like things are kind of getting negative? What do you do to kind of disconnect and separate yourself from that and kind of realign yourself?
Dude, today is, I mean, I play with my dog, you know, like, I mean, I look around, I have a loving, beautiful wife and I have like 2 awesome dogs. And you know, you just step back and you look around and you're like, you just realize, like, where are you? Like what's going on in your life? Like, we're blessed. We're fine. We're doing good.
I dig that.
Like, we're not homeless. I mean, if you are, I mean, that's motivation itself.
If you are watching this and you are homeless, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're tuning into
dude,
this.
I literally had a homeless guy hand me a credit card, hit Square.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty smart.
I told him I had no cash. He was like, don't worry, dude. I got you. Like, that's a hustle.
That's a hustle right there.
That's a hustle.
But that's a good point. It's when things are getting bad and you start feeling like all this like negativity or you complain about your day and all that stuff. It's good to kind of just like literally just take a step back from everything for 5-10 minutes. And like, even if you like try to readjust your framework, that helps too, I think.
Yep.
John Simmons, love this. Oh, brother, boy. Danny, hair's on point. Your hair is on point, by the way.
Dude, you're my inspiration.
This hair?
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of keeping this a secret and all stuff. I'm kind of doing this for a reason. I'm going to be...
You're going to cut it off?
I'm cutting 8 Well, hold on a second, bro.
Did I just steal your thunder?
No, not really. I'm not. Listen, I have this hair because obviously my wife digs it. All right, that's the main reason behind it. But second off, I'm going to be cutting it for Sky High, I think in March.
Really?
I haven't made that announcement yet. You heard it here first, but yeah, I'm going to be doing that.
You going to shave it?
No, bro. No, it's only 8 inches, and this is 8 inches. So however long it gets, 8 inches up to make a wig, yeah.
That's awesome.
I dig it, man. Why not?
I don't know if I can make it that long.
It's a commitment.
I dig it. This is the length.
That's a very good Euro American look. I dig that length.
I'm Italian.
Bada bing. All right, let's see what we got. Do all these logging companies do want to cut wood? Just like that. Did you ever find the mats you needed? Ooh, Danny coming with an inside question.
Actually, we haven't secured those mats yet.
So he hasn't secured those mats. So just shoot him. Just get on his LinkedIn inbox.
DM me.
Yeah, just DM me.
Slide in my DMs.
Or for a certain amount of funds, I got a Square. I'll give you his cell phone and his home address.
That's right.
All right. Ashley Thomas, haha, great story. That was a good story. Renee, great question. I think I was the first oilfield peddler in Houston to bring boudin and kolaches to a breakfast run. I probably know who you are. I feel like I know who you are. If not, I met definitely one of your disciples that started doing that. Those are so good.
Is that an anonymous?
Anonymous.
Wow.
It's anonymous on StreamYard. I'm sure I can see the comment and all of that stuff. All right, staying positive. Ooh, laying up on a short par 4, a grip and rip. I'm a grip and rip guy, personally.
It depends on your score.
Are you a good golfer?
No, I'm a hundreds guy. I'm
okay.
a low hundreds, high 90s when I've been playing.
Huge pet peeve of mine is people say they're not good golfers and they're like a 4 handicap.
No, that's not me. That's not me.
My move is this.
I don't practice enough.
I'm like a 90s, high 80s, 90s golfer. That's not that good. But what I'll do, I'll always critique people's shot and tell them what I think they should be doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Always take advice from the guy who shoots in the high 90s. That's my move.
Hey man, I think you should just drop your hands a little quicker.
Yeah. You're not really rotating
That's
through.
Just me, though.
And we got Stephen R. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is a good soup still today. Sharpen the saw. Begin with the end in mind. Use them often. I think that I like that. Begin with the end in mind. You know what I mean? You constantly think about the goal you want,
right?
The vision you want, and how are you gonna do? What are you gonna do today to get there?
You don't need daily motivation when you have drive to something, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Or the motivation doesn't have to be as strong.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to pump.
The motivation is going to be there, but you don't have to
you're self motivated. You're not. You're not having to falsely motivate yourself.
Right. And so we got a Renee over here. Are you in need of flare gas solutions and how to convert flare gas into usable energy? Where are y'all now with that the whole ESG stuff when it comes to like?
We're getting big, man. Kinder Morgan is moving into we're moving into the carbon capture. Like we are set up infrastructurally. Like we moved CO2 from Colorado to West Texas.
Okay.
So that's our we are the CO2 group of Kinder Morgan. So I think as a whole industry of carbon capture, we are sitting prime as a potential leader of that whole movement.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That we power our generators. We have massive compression stations, so we power our generators off our produced gas.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll add methane and stuff like that to our produced gas and burn it.
Okay.
We don't flare.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
Second.
Sorry. Does anyone else do you have anything else you want to kind of bring up and all that stuff? I think we're coming up on about, I don't even know how long we've been doing this, but
we're almost an hour in.
Almost to an hour in. I think we need another pumpkin spice latte. Sweater weather.
My boss is probably watching, so I should probably get back to work.
Well, this is pre-recorded. We stopped filming this at 7:30 a.m., so he's good.
Sunday morning. Man, I just want to say, I dig what you're doing.
Well, thanks,
man. I see what you got, what you got going on, and believe it or not, you're making an impact. I think, people are talking about you.
Well, I hope. I mean, the thing is, though, what I'm trying to do is and this sounds kind of cheesy. And I was like, yes, obviously I'd like to, promote myself, but at the same time, it's also like what I'm trying to do, man. I'm just trying to like, look, it's tough times. It's always going to be tough in our industry. I feel like.
Right.
All I'm trying to do is like, we've missed this. When I started in the industry, people were going out, people were together, people were talking, there were friendships made, there was friendship bonds being made. All I'm trying to do is not lose that. And in times like this, I think it's so crucial to bring people together.
Yeah.
And whether it's work-related or not, just make our industry kind of have more relationships again and have more, lift each other up, be there. Because honestly, what I feel, and I was thinking about this last night, I feel like people are successful for a couple of reasons. Number one is timing and luck, But I think a large majority of success, whether it's ability to perform your job well or something like that, is your networks.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you need a problem done, and that's just what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build networks in our industry, strengthen networks, build new ones. That's honestly the goal of this. And honestly, I don't feel like I'm benefiting from it. I feel like everyone else is. So in that boat, I'm going to benefit as well. Sure. But I kind of feel like that's the whole goal of this,
right,
is to make our oil field smaller, lift people up, and just kind of, it can help anybody, you know?
I wish I had more people to call when I was younger.
Yeah.
Or when I was newer and greener, salesmen will call me and ask me questions about other people's programs. Like, hey, they're having this problem. What do you know about that? That's huge. I mean, I don't know what they got going on, but I've had similar problems, right? So I think, that's important, man.
Yeah, I really think it is too.
We do have to stay connected because we all have struggles. We all have operational problems. We all have,
life.
And we're getting disconnected, and it's hard to. If you could help someone out somehow, some way, whether it's solving a problem or at work or life, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, just be there for someone. If someone's having a bad time, or you hear someone get let go or something like that, just pick up the phone and call, even if you haven't talked to them in 2 or 3 years. Show support.
Yeah,
I dig that. So, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, and be sure to check out connectioncrew.com. Connection Crew, like Motley Crue, CRUE, to stay updated with the next upcoming breakfast runs. Be sure to connect with Derek over LinkedIn and shoot him a note and say hello. And what else? Check out Royal Completion Tools, sponsor for the Breakfast Run show.
Colin Campbell tournament.
Be sure to check that out. We posted the link. Janie's posted the link as well. I'd love to see y'all there. It's going to be a good time. I think if the weather's like this, that's going to be nice for a little bit of golf. So
we pushed it back specifically for getting that. We want good weather.
Pristine golf weather. So I dig that. And we're not going to be laying up. We're going to be gripping and ripping.
Dude, that tournament, there's no layups.
There's no layups.
We break clubs if you lay up. Your club's getting broken.
I dig that. Yeah. I dig that. A lot of vandalism going on if you lay up. So, Derek, I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for pronouncing your last name for me. And everyone out there, I hope everyone has a safe and a great week. And enjoy your pumpkin spice. And I want to thank Roast and Brew for hosting us again up in the Heights. So come check them out. You might have bumped into us one day if we're up here. So, everyone, we'll talk to you later. And have you heard it. Have a great week.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. They do this awkward, like, face with. How do you turn this off?